Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about the fact that Johnquel Jones seemed to defend the Caitlin Clark fans. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next videos. So, Johnquel Jones was interviewed, Rob, and she gave an interesting answer when talking about Caitlin Clark fans. She was on something called the Pivot Podcast, and this is what she said. I think a lot of the fans, the Caitlin Clark fans, I think they wanted to latch on to Caitlin Clark and then use her as this fuel to be able to be the way that they wanted to be. And I think that's why there was such a big backlash when she liked the whole Taylor Swift post saying vote for Kamala Harris, because they want her to be the representation of their racism and their view of the world. And she's not like that. Well, just want to stop right there. She never told people to vote for Kamala Harris. She just liked the post. Taylor Swift said she was voting for Kamala Harris and endorsed her. And she did that for Joe Biden 4 years before. So it was no big surprise that she didn't like Donald Trump. But Caitlin Clark said she just backed up the tweet or liked the tweet because of the fact that in the tweet, Taylor Swift talked a lot about telling people to get educated and know the issues and also to register to vote.
Right.
So anyways, I just want to stop right there. So it's a little unsure what Johnquel Jones was indicating in terms of what she was saying about Caitlin Clark or Taylor Swift talking about Kamala Harris. And so now they have to backtrack and try to find somebody else that can kind of embody the things that they feel. She's basically saying that all these people are a bunch of racists and thought Caitlin Clark was on the far right and a racist. She's basically indicating the far right is a racist society.
She was indicating that. Well, she was assuming since she's from Iowa, Midwest, and that her political views, whatever her views, were conservative, and that's why those fans flocked to her. And then when they found out that she kind of towards Taylor Swift, but she didn't really say what she wanted, what kind of affiliation she was. She just liked it, and they got scared away. Like, oh my gosh, wait a minute.
Well, I think Johnquel Jones is taking a shot at Donald Trump supporters. Basically, she's saying they all thought she was a Republican, and they thought Caitlin Clark was a Republican, which means they thought she might vote for Donald Trump. And Johnquel Jones is indicating to me that, well, if you're going to vote for Donald Trump, you're a racist. That's the way I read this.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah.
Because she's saying that. Well, they found out she was going to vote Democrat, which means she's not a racist, which means she's indicating that if you're a Republican and voting for Donald Trump, you are a racist. Yeah, that's what I get out of this.
Well, but she never indicated that, though. She didn't say who she's voting for.
Well, Caitlin Clark didn't, but I think Johnquel Jones is saying pretty clearly that she thinks the people that are going to vote for Donald Trump are racist, because she basically, by saying she's going to, like the tweet about Kamala Harris, she's saying, I'm not a Republican. I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump. And so that's what she's indicating. And I don't know. I heard that theory too, that some people, well, they're not real fans. They were just liking the fact that they could stick it at the very far left, what I call the overly woke people. And they use Caitlin Clark for that. I'm sure there's a small percentage of people that were doing that, but for heaven's sakes, most of them, even those people weren't just trolling that way. I'm sure they were watching Caitlin Clark play and enjoyed watching her play. So I don't buy the fact that that was their only purpose in life.
Yeah, I don't buy that argument. I hate when people start sticking politics into it. They just liked her because she was a great ball player, and then she brought in fans who never even watched women's basketball. And so those fans that she brought in wasn't because of whatever her political or whatever standard was. It was because she was a great ball player and they wanted to see her play. They heard a lot about her.
Oh, clearly that's for almost all the Caitlin Clark fans, but they're saying there may be a small percentage that had other motives. And I'm saying, yeah, that may be true, but I think their motivation was also because they like watching Caitlin Clark play. Otherwise, they could find another way to stick it to the far left other than try to use Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
which they can't use right now because Caitlin Clark has not indicated she's voting for Donald Trump and not a Republican. And I suspect she's not. But she wants to remain politically neutral, and I think she has the right to do that. And I'm glad she did, and I'm glad she does, because she just wants to play basketball. Let her play basketball. I think there's too much politics in sports, and I think regardless of how she's going to vote or what her politics are, I'm glad that she's keeping quiet about it in general. Other than making that tweet.
Well, that's her whole makeup. That's her whole makeup, Mark, is her whole thing as far as things that have happened to her on the court and on and off the court. So she's been pretty, just laid back, or not laid back, but just not assuming about it, not bring it to her attention, letting that attention come on her, because she knows. She's smart. She knows if she says either way with anything about anything that has happened to her or about something, people are just gonna jump right on it. Oh, she said this. Oh, I can't believe. Look at this. But she's like, I don't need all that. I just want to play basketball. This is the way. She poked me in the eye. She didn't mean to do that, whatever. And she followed me, but that she's always taking the high road with all her things, which is very smart in life. She's learned a lot. She's very smart.
I will say, Rob, Caitlin Clark never made comments like Paige Becker's made and Cameron Brink, who I would classify those comments as overly woke. Some people call them woke, but I think they distorted the definition of woke. So they assumed, well, Caitlin Clark's not woke, but I would say not overly woke. So they assumed that she was a Republican. But there's all sorts of people that are Democrats and liberals who aren't overly woke. So I think that was a false assumption on their part, just because she wasn't overly woke. That's what I'm saying. And I think people were thinking, well, she must be Republican because she's not over. No, there's all sorts of people who aren't overly woke who are not Republicans. So I think that was a false assumption by people on the far right.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. So I think that's why this is all convoluted. And that's why this is something that really I don't even want to be part of. And I'm glad that Caitlin Clark doesn't want to be part of it too.
Let's worry about basketball. Let's worry about basketball. Whatever happens, whatever happens. For me, I have friends on both sides. You probably do too. My main thing is just vote. I don't care who you vote for, just vote, because then you have a right to say stuff. If you don't vote, then you can't say anything about anything. Yeah. So whomever you vote for, just vote. That's just.
I've already voted because I voted by mail. I'm going to be out of the country on November 5th. They got my vote. They told me by an email, so I know my vote's in there, unless I just
mine too.
And so, Rob, that's here's an opportunity for us to say it. Go and vote. This is what today is November. What does it say? Votes. Today's November 3rd, right? Sunday. It's in 2 days. We haven't voted yet. Go out and vote. You haven't registered by now. I think it's too late, but I think it's important. In the election 2 elections ago, only like 55 to 56% of the people voted, which is outrageously bad. And then the last election, around 60% voted, which was great increase. And you said in Taiwan, they vote 80% of the people voted, right?
Over 80%.
So that's 40% of the people in this country that are eligible to vote that did not vote in the last election. That's terrible. So please, everyone go vote. I don't care how you vote, just vote.
Okay, who the hell you vote for? Just do it.
I didn't vote when I was younger, and it was wrong. And I voted over the last 35 years, but I didn't vote when I was younger. So anyways, and we'll find out what happens in the election sometime in the next week, because we're not going to find out on November 5th, because Pennsylvania doesn't start counting till 7 a.m. the morning of the election. That's what the rules are. They won't all be counted by that day. It's going to be a super close race. We won't find out for 3 or 4 days afterwards who won.
Yeah.
So anyways, we'll find out. And Caitlin Clark's probably not going to indicate who she voted for. I'm sure she's not. And she's smart to do that because she's got fans on both sides, which is great. That's the way it should be. People shouldn't follow somebody because of their politics, or not follow somebody because of their politics.
Right.
That's just me. Anyways, I follow Caitlin Clark because she's the most exciting women's basketball player I've ever seen by a large margin. That's why I follow her, and she's great.
And that's why we do videos on her.
And she seems like a good person too, regardless of what her politics are.
Right.
So anyways, and she's a big fan of Taylor Swift. I heard she went to one of her concerts before. I think she follows Taylor Swift on Instagram or something. So that's the reason, one of the reasons why she probably liked it.
Most women her age, most women or girls her age do follow Taylor Swift. So
yeah, a lot of them, yeah. And So anyways, whatever you think of Taylor Swift, I'm not going to touch on that topic right now. But anyways, let us know what you think down below. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? It? It's just as important to subscribe to our channel as it is to vote. It's like the same thing. They're identical concepts. So please subscribe to our channel right away. It's really, really important. Otherwise, the country might go down the drain if you don't subscribe to our channel.
That's right. YouTube's going to go down if you don't vote if you don't vote and when you don't subscribe. It's going to crumble.
That's the best I can do, Rob. Tie it in with voting. I don't know what to say. And hey, join us for our live show. It's every Monday, 6 to 8 Eastern time, except for major holidays. And you call in for that show. So it's pretty cool. If you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below. It's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.